What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Flippin Bats Now pregame show. I'm Ben Verlander, joined as always by Alex Curry. Team Mexico against Team Japan is set to start right behind us in just a couple of minutes. We've had quite the day down here around BP already today, and this game is going to be awesome. We're going to talk all about it and tell you everybody we've talked to as well. Let's get to it.
It's a blowout, 8th inning, 10-3. Bases are loaded for Verlander, who waits out a 3-0 pitch. He swings, and it's a high fly ball, deep center field. It is gone! Home run! And a huge bat flip to celebrate. All right, Ben, start the show already.
I am so pumped for tonight, Alex. The crowd is already piling in here. Tons of Team Mexico fans. I got here around 3 o'clock. The Team Japan, there are tons of Japan fans that were already lined up at the gate, so this is going to be a blast. You and I got here really early today,
yes,
and
we
did. We've had quite the day already.
We've had a really good day already. We got down here, we were watching Japan's BP, then Mexico's BP, and fans have been ready and going crazy. This place has been electric the moment the gates open, but also since Ohtani went and took batting practice.
That was wild. And even right before batting practice, when the manager of Team Japan, Mr. Kuriyama, came out and sat in the dugout, and he saw me, and this was really cool for me because when I was in Japan, he looked at me and said, "I will see you in the United States."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, I hope so." And he came right up to me. We saw each other, biggest smile on our faces, gave each other the biggest hug.
Yeah.
And he said, "I told you I'd see you in the United States." And just to be able to talk to him and have another conversation was awesome. And then, as you mentioned, then Shohei came out. And the gates had just opened by that point. People were already running in here to get to a good spot. I've never seen Shohei Ohtani take BP. You had, but it's a very rare sight. Even before he went out to BP, you can see it here. Alex and I got to catch up with him in the dugout. Just old pals, seeing old pals, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I was with them 4 or 5 years with the Angels, and his batting practice, as I was trying to explain to you, it is like its own show in and of itself. Fans are cheering every swing of the bat. It happened. You see it when he throws his bullpens before a game that he's starting to pitch. But at batting practice, it's insane. And he was absolutely crushing the ball out here in the ballpark during BP.
It was. So the reason I say it's a rare sight is because Shohei Ohtani during the regular season does not take batting practice. There's maybe 2 or 3 times a year he'll take batting practice on the field. But during this World Baseball Classic, we've gotten to see that up close and personal. And let me tell you what I saw today.
Yeah.
What I saw today during Shohei Ohtani's BP was the single most impressive batting practice I have seen in my entire life. The first swing that Shohei Ohtani took. Now, mind you, everybody that has ever played the game of baseball, the first swing in the batting cage is typically like a rollover to second base or a rollover to shortstop or a foul ball in the turtle. His first swing went deep into the second deck. I saw him hit a ball 3 rows from the top of the entire stadium, which was insane. And the most impressive thing, when I say this was the most impressive BP I've ever seen, the single most impressive feat I have ever seen, he hit a ball to dead center field that hit, not only did it go over the 400 feet sign in center field, not only did it go over the green batter's eye, not only did it go over the second deck, it hit the University of Miami Health System sign that I have no doubts is over 500 feet away. It's the most impressive thing I've ever seen in batting practice.
I mean, but would you expect anything less from Shohei Ohtani? He has done it all in this tournament. He pitched in the quarterfinals. We've seen him hit monster home runs, run out a bunt single to first base. But now he's here. He's back in the States. You can feel the energy. What does it mean for Shohei Ohtani to be representing Team Japan, but be back here in a major league stadium in front of these fans?
I think to a degree, the fact that we saw him taking batting practice kind of gives us a glimpse of what this means to him. He doesn't normally take batting practice on the field. He's doing it during this tournament for the fans.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he's doing it. Comes out on the field. I've never seen somebody get a standing ovation from the crowd during batting practice. what it means to Shohei to be playing in this tournament with Team Japan on his chest. Look, I haven't been able to ask him that, but you can see it on his face. How much fun he's having playing these games. The amount of time he's talking to the media during all this. He's spending 10 minutes talking to the media at a time, taking pictures, taking BP. It means everything for Shohei to be playing for Team Japan, and for now for the tournament to shift to Miami, back to the United States for him. I mean, it's so cool wearing Team Japan now back in the United States. What a special moment for him.
Yeah, this place is going to be absolutely electric tonight, considering it's already going crazy, and it's been going crazy since he was taking batting practice. But I want to talk about the two guys on the mound, Roki Sasaki for Team Japan and Patrick Sandoval for Team Mexico, who's actually Shohei Ohtani's teammate on the Angels. But let's start with Roki Sasaki. He is a young star in the making that I think everybody is going to probably know his name after the game here tonight.
Yeah, this guy's a superstar, and I can't walk more than 2 minutes down here without somebody stopping and asking me what I think about Roki Sasaki. And what I think about this guy is that he is a superstar. And I don't mean that in the terms of in the NPB, which, by the way, is a very top-tier level of the game of baseball. Not only is he a superstar there, this guy could come to the United States right now, put on a Major League Baseball uniform, and be an absolute superstar in the major leagues. No doubt about it. He throws 102 miles an hour. He throws a wipeout slider. I was talking to somebody from the Team Japan staff in the dugout, and he goes, oh, yeah, Roki Sasaki, 104. So this guy just, you never know. You might see 104 miles an hour from him tonight. That's what we can expect to see. We saw one outing from him earlier in the tournament against the Czech Republic. No earned runs, struck out a bunch of guys. This guy is the real deal, Alex, and that's what everybody can expect to see tonight on the field.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Well, now to the other team, Mexico. Patrick Sandoval, as I mentioned, Shohei Ohtani's teammate on the Angels. What are you expecting to see from him tonight?
Yeah, this guy's a good pitcher. He's thrown before in this tournament, 1-0 in the tournament, 3 innings, 2 strikeouts, an earned run, and only 2 hits. I like Patrick Sandoval a lot. I think he's one of the lesser-known arms in Major League Baseball, especially on that Angels staff that doesn't get a lot of credit. But Patrick Sandoval is a good, solid left-handed pitcher. We can expect to see a lot of off-speed, some sliders, some fastballs in on some guys' hands. So I expect Sandoval to come out here. He's got a very tough task ahead with a very solid Team Japan lineup. But look, this is a really good pitching matchup, and for that reason, I expect this to be a rather low-scoring game.
All right. Well, let's go back to Team Japan and talk about another one of their superstars who has actually been born into a superstar, Lars Nootbaar. And we got to talk to him as well in the dugout during batting practice. And he told us he is having the time of his life, but he was also explaining what it's been like over in Japan with this team, explaining that fans are jumping on their buses. Tens of thousands of fans are showing up just to watch them arrive to the stadium, go to the airport. It's almost like Beatlemania.
Well, yeah, that's a good way to put it. One, just talking to Lars, one of his first days back in the United States after experiencing what he has over in Japan. I mean, this guy's become a superstar. He's hitting 368 on the tournament with 3 RBIs. So is he having a good tournament offensively? Yes. But he has become a superstar around the world. The pepper grinder everywhere you look is sold out in Japan because of him. Talking to him in the dugout, getting to catch up with him right before he went into the tunnel is just a really cool moment. And everything he had to say about playing over there, I mean, his face lit up. And you have to imagine he was out on the field for 30 minutes after BP talking to everybody about it, and his face still lights up. So just talking to him, and as you mentioned, they were legitimately, Team Japan, treated like the Beatles over there. I mean, people are climbing on their bus, banging on the windows. I mean, man, this guy's life, Alex, in the course of 1 week has completely changed. I mean, a complete 180. This guy has gone from being a good major leaguer with fans in St. Louis that love him. He is a fan favorite there, to now signing up to play for Team Japan, going over there, and his life changing forever. It was so cool to see, and the smile on his face said it all.
It did, and he said you and his family tried to give him an idea of what it would be like over there in Japan. And he said it's hard to even wrap your head around it, even when you're explaining it to him. You just had to experience it in person. And it's something that he'll remember for the rest of his life. And said he's never experienced anything like that. But let's get to the rest of Japan's lineup. Who are you keeping an eye out on tonight?
For me in this lineup, it's Mutaka Murakami. This guy, to start the tournament, really struggled to get hits, right?
Yeah.
Like, this guy broke the all-time Japanese home run record last season, and he was really struggling to get hits in this tournament until last game. What I saw from him in the quarterfinal was a rocket double the other way, and to me it looked like after that he got locked in. The very next at bat we saw a line drive to left field. It looked like he was starting to get locked in this tournament. In this lineup, Murakami is one of the best hitters, and he's a name that not a ton of people know. I think he's locking in. I think he's going to come out in full force here. That's who I'm watching. This Team Japan lineup, though, is loaded. Lars Nootbaar leading off, Kondo batting second, Ohtani batting third, Yoshida batting fourth, Murakami batting fifth, Okamoto sixth, Yamada seventh, Genda eighth, and Nakamura batting ninth, with the superstar on the mound, the young phenom.
Yeah.
And I have no qualm saying that. He is a young phenom, Roki Sasaki, on the mound.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to Roki Sasaki tonight. If he can get out there, do his job, and really contain Team Mexico's bats, Team Japan has a great chance of meeting USA in the final. But let's switch gears and go to the other dugout, Team Mexico. And I think they have a mascot of their team. Randy Arozarena has just been everything and more that we want him to be. He was out here in his sombrero and his cowboy boots. He's a man of the people. He was talking and signing autographs for the fans almost the entire time out here in the outfield. And he's just having the time of his life.
I'm just having a blast watching Randy Arozarena walk around this tournament. And, you know, he was asked today, what do you expect from Roki Sasaki today? He said, what do I expect? For him to lose today. This guy is becoming a legend of the game. He's a superstar. I just talked to him a few minutes ago. We're gonna get that ready to play in the post game,
okay,
because there's a translation that needs to happen. But some of the answers he gave was phenomenal. I've had a blast watching him, and his story, Alex, is something super special that I think everybody needs to know. This guy is able to play in Mexico and has his citizenship. He was born in Cuba and defected and ends up in Mexico, moved his family there, has a kid there. That's how he's able to get his citizenship. He said, I want to play in the World Baseball Classic for Team Mexico. And after everything he had been through, to do that and to be here right now, and look at him.
Look at him. He's
just rocking the cowboy boots everywhere he walks around this field. It's so cool.
It's great. I mean, in the last tweet that we showed, it was make sure you tell your grandchildren about WBC Randy Arozarena, because I don't think there's anybody that's more of a vibe in this tournament than him right now.
I completely agree with that. And on the field, he's obviously raking. 471, 5 doubles, a home run in this tournament, 9 RBIs. We've seen it before from him in the World Series, in the playoffs. Look, the guy went into the playoffs that first year, and he set almost every playoff hitting record you possibly can. And now in this World Baseball Classic, he's doing it for the country that he got his citizenship in, and it meant so much for him to play for that team. I'm excited to watch him here on the biggest game of this tournament for him.
All right, well, let's take a look at Team Mexico's lineup. Who are you keeping an eye on tonight?
Well, one, it's got to be Randy Arozarena for me. Is a guy that I'm absolutely keeping my eye on. He's leading off, batting, playing in left field. Alex Verdugo, Joey Meneses, who's been unbelievable this tournament, Rowdy Tellez, Isaac Paredes, Luis Urias, Alec Trejo, Alex Thomas, and Austin Barnes batting ninth, with the angel himself, left-handed pitcher Patrick Sandoval on the mound.
We are in for such an incredible game and matchup here tonight.
I mean, the volume just got turned up a bit in here. It's becoming a party already, so we're going to be in for a blast for sure.
So remember, whoever wins this semifinal game tonight will be facing Team USA in the final tomorrow. And I just want to take a moment to talk about Team USA and what they did last night, because you can't say enough about Trey Turner, America's shortstop, who had a multi-home run game last night after sending Team USA to the semifinals with his grand slam the night before.
I said it last night. I'll say it again. We need to put Trey Turner on Mount Rushmore. And I don't know, Alex, who that means we're kicking off.
Yeah.
Sorry about it. Trey Turner is taking over America. He's America's shortstop right now, breaking all of these records. Most home runs by a Team United States player in World Baseball Classic history. 4+ RBIs in 2 consecutive games, ties his hitting coach, Ken Griffey Jr. What Trey Turner is doing right now really kick-started the United States of America. Nobody's offense is rolling as much as USA's is right now. So whoever wins this game, their pitcher's going to have a tall task shutting down that Team USA lineup.
Who do you think has a better chance of meeting Team USA in the finals?
I've been saying it for, I feel like, a week now.
Yeah.
Team Japan is the most complete team in this tournament. From their lineup to starting pitching to relief pitching, it's the best complete team that I have seen. They are so good. Now, I do think that Team Mexico isn't getting the credit they deserve in this tournament. And they've proven that they can hit. They have superstars in that lineup. Their pitching staff is one of, if not the best staffs in this tournament. They are very good. We're in for a great game, but, man, we'll get to our predictions in a second.
In just a second.
Like I've been saying, this Team Japan team, we're in for a treat. If you weren't waking up at 3 a.m. to watch them, you're going to get a treat tonight.
All right, well, let's reminisce a little and talk about the top 3 Japan and Mexico moments that we've seen so far in this tournament. Starting with number 3, Randy Arozarena's catch, his legendary catch that he said was the best moment of his career.
That tells you everything you need to know. That catch was one of the best catches and the biggest moment for him. You know, to hear him say that, to make that catch in that moment, Alex, and for him to say that was bigger than his World Series home run, wow, pretty cool. That's number 3.
All right, number 2, Lars Nootbaar, Pepper Grinder Mania.
Well, he gets there, and the first thing you see is Shohei Ohtani in an exhibition hitting a home run, doing the Pepper Grinder celebration. Fast forward a week, Pepper Grinders are sold out all across Japan. There's tens of thousands in the stands. I'm sure we're going to see some here tonight.
Yep.
Pepper Grinder Mania has taken over because of Lars Nootbaar being on this team, and it's been awesome to see.
I love it. All right, and now our number 1 moment is Shohei Ohtani's home run, and then the fans passing around his home run ball for everyone to take photos with it.
Well, Shohei Ohtani said it best. It was a dream of his as a kid to hit a home run for Team Japan in the World Baseball Classic. He's done that. He did it. 450 feet. And then on top of that, what happened in the stands after with them passing around the ball just so everybody could see it and then giving it back to the girl that caught it. What a cool moment for Shohei. What a respectful moment in the stands. It speaks volumes about those fans and that culture. Just all around a really cool moment and number 1 for me between these 2 teams.
I love that. As we're inching closer to first pitch, the volume, the energy is getting louder and bigger in this stadium. So before we let you go, it's time for predictions.
Yep.
Who's winning this game and what's the score?
My prediction, as I've said, Team Japan is the most complete team in this tournament.
Yeah.
I believe they take care of business tonight. I believe they win 6-2. Roki Sasaki announces himself as a star in this Major League ballpark. I bet we could see 6+ strikeouts from him tonight and minimum innings on the mound. I don't know how long he's going to go.
Yeah.
8+ maybe. We'll see. 6-2 Japan. Roki Sasaki is my player of the game.
I love it. All right. I am also taking Team Japan, but I'm going Japan 7-3. And I think Shohei Ohtani is going to be the player of the game. He is the moment. He is the man, the myth, the legend. We've seen it the moment he walked onto this field taking batting practice. It is his time to shine. I think he's going to go off here tonight.
All right, I agree. That does it for this Flippin Bats Now pregame show. Thank you all for listening. By the way, we're going to toss to an interview with Edgar Gonzalez of the Fox Deportes, talking about Team Mexico, talking about this game. That'll be a blast. Thank you all for listening. We'll be back immediately post-game following with some interviews and all of our talk from today and the game. It's going to be a blast. Make sure you subscribe to Flippin Bats. We'll be back pregame. This has been the pregame Flippin Bats Now episode. Enjoy the game, everyone. Peace. All right, I'm here joined now by Edgar Gonzalez, former player himself, Team Mexico, played in the MPB as well, kind of all over the place. First off, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I want to talk about this Team Mexico team first. How awesome has it been watching them throughout this tournament, and are you surprised at all with the success they've had?
It's been unbelievable. This has been happening for a while. Like with Mexico, I was working in Mexico trying to promote baseball, and all of this. Now all of a sudden we're here, and it's a dream come true for Mexico. It's going to grow the game a lot, and Yeah, I'm not surprised. Mexico has a lot of pitching. We've had, I think this is one of the best pitching staffs that there is in this tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Benji Gill is an unbelievable manager. I've known him for a long time. He's able to like get the best out of the players. He always has a really positive attitude, and then I mean I'm not too surprised, and I'm happy that they're here, and I'm really excited about this game today.
How pumped were the guys? I know Pool C, the shining matchup of the pool was Team USA against Team Mexico. They clearly got up for that game. What was it like for Team Mexico after taking down Team USA? Were you there? Were you talking to the guys? How'd they feel after it?
Yeah, I mean, everybody was super pumped. They're super excited. We've had a very good track record against the U.S.
Yeah.
We've won 2 games before this, and then that game that we won, so it's 3 now. But so everybody was kind of confident about it. We knew that who they were going against. I mean, U.S. is probably the team to beat, and that's the target. But at the end of the day, after that game, Benji did a really good job on trying to control the feeling of the players, not to get too excited, to enjoy it. But then we had a day off afterwards, so that helped. And now that we're here, it's super exciting, especially going against Japan. Me playing in Japan, it's amazing for them to be able to face Japan, and if we're able to win this game, it's going to be amazing for the country.
We need to talk about Randy Arozarena.
Yeah.
This guy has become a superstar here. What about in Mexico? What's the talk about Randy Arozarena in Mexico?
Oh, everybody's embraced him like he is Mexican. I mean, he has a passport.
Yeah.
He's Mexican, but like if he's born in Mexico, one of our own, and that's amazing because I think it's part of his personality. His personality is very contagious. Everybody wants to be around him, and then the way he said, I want to play for Mexico. He told the president. He announced it to the president. I was working in the office with the president at that time, and
Wow.
yeah, and the president was not involved in any of that, but was very excited to know that somebody wanted to participate with Mexico because his wife is Mexican. I don't know if it's son or daughter, but they're Mexican, so they were born in Mexico. So he was really excited about it, and now that it became true and that he's playing for Mexico, people have embraced him like one of our own. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So even that's kind of how the process began of him getting his citizenship in Mexico, right? He said he wanted to play for Mexico, and then the process started, and now he's an official citizen, right?
Yeah, he's an official citizen. It started by him saying it, and then he had to do the whole process. I mean, by his daughter being born, he's able to be Mexican. So it ended up being something that he just had to do the process, and he was able to do it.
What do you expect here tonight? We're just a few minutes away from Team Mexico against Team Japan in the semifinal matchup. The fans are already hearing crazy. Do you expect them to travel like we saw in Arizona?
Yes, I expect it to be packed. I expect there to be a lot of mariachis, a lot of Mexican music around, but also Japan. I played in Japan, and all those songs that happen between every hitter. So I expect a lot of singing, a lot of Mexico. You've seen this tournament; it's a lot different. There's a lot of dancing. There's a lot of music. There's a lot of everybody just having fun and enjoying the time, and that's what's amazing about this tournament.
I want to ask you about your experiences in this tournament. You've played in two World Baseball Classics. What was the difference when you played and now? This year feels so special. It feels like the world has really rallied around it. Have you seen a big difference in then and now?
I think it's the players that are coming in. More countries are being involved, and it's just I don't know. I think it's a process of going through it. After a while, it becomes more popular. But I do feel like it's more popular this year, and I feel it's a great tournament. I mean, I was excited because I played twice and I became a manager of one of them. So I've been on both sides, and it's just been growing and growing. And this year is, I think, the best year for it.
I think for fans, it's hard to grasp the concept. But for you, what does it mean to put on? You've put on plenty of jerseys in your career. What does it mean to put on that jersey with the green and the red and says Team Mexico on it, and you're playing for your country with your colors?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think that's the best feeling. That's why a lot of players, like Trey Turner said it after he hit the home run. I think it's it's the best feeling, the best home run I've ever in my whole life. Because when you do play for a team in the major leagues, obviously you're excited about your team and everything, but you're in that team just for that year until something could happen the next year. But in the country, you're always going to be for that country.
Yeah.
So it doesn't go away. So that part is amazing, and it makes you feel a lot more part of it, and it makes you involved a lot more in everything, in every way into your team.
Everybody around the world might not know every name on this Team Japan team, but I believe they're the most complete team in the tournament from top to bottom. What can people expect to see, and what are you most excited tonight about with Team Japan?
Well, number one, the starting pitcher.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about him already. Sasaki, I mean, I've heard a lot about him. A lot of stories about him, how good he is, how good he's done, and what to expect out of him. So starting with him, I'm excited to see him, how it is. I played in Japan, so I know a lot of the culture. I know how they pitch. I know what they do. I know I played 2 years there, and I love Japan. And so I have a lot of friends on that side too. So it's exciting. It's exciting to see Mexico get Japan.
You got friends on every side of the equation, so my last question for you is going to be a tough one. Give me a prediction for tonight.
Oh, no, I can't do that. Mexico wins. That's all I'm going to say.
I appreciate it.
Mexico
Hey,
wins.
thank you so much for joining me.
Ben.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Ben. I
friend.
appreciate it, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.